Namaskara. My name is Dr. Ram Nair. I'm an emergency medicine specialist and also running an organization called Jeevaraksha Trust. Jeevaraksha Trust was started by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences and Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement to improve the emergency care education in India. As part of that drive, we would like to talk to you today about oxygen concentrators. It was in the news over the past few months. It is seen as a cure or a savior during this pandemic times. As we know, when the pandemic hits and the lungs get affected, the oxygen in our blood goes down, and this has got definitely a role to play. So what's an oxygen concentrator? It is a plastic box in which there is machine and filters which uses electricity to concentrate oxygen from the air. The air we breathe in has got 21% oxygen, while the machine concentrates that oxygen and gets us up to 90% oxygen to be supplied to somebody who's struggling to breathe. So the machine has got different parts. We'll just go through quickly. It has got a power button. It has got some sort of displays. It has got a bottle with water attached to it. There is a flow meter. And if you turn it around, any of the machines, if you turn it around, you will see that there is the details of the machines there. So there are two types of machines. This one here is made in America, and if you check the plug, you can see it. It is not your regular power plug. And then you also have those which are made for European plugs or Indian plugs, which is a 2-pin, and it is clearly written on the back of the machine that it is a 220 volt machine. So while we are at the back of the machine, I would like to show you something else. You've got filters in the machine. So here you've got an external filter, and if I open this up, you can see an internal filter. So I'm closing it now. In this machine, the filter is on the side. So you open that up again, you can see that there is an external filter and there is an internal filter. So we talked about the two different types of power inputs. For an American machine with the power input, which is an American plug and 110 volts, you need a transformer. So we'll be showing that to you towards the end of this video. And this is an Indian power plug. So I'm going to connect the Indian power plug now. So now that we've connected the power plug, we can just see how it is operated. So here, the machine has got what we call the humidifier bottle. So here, the humidifier bottle, you open it up and you put distilled water in it. And if you can't get distilled water, please make sure you put boiled, cooled water in it. If there is contamination in the water, that will affect the air that you're breathing in, and you could get into infections like the black fungus, the white fungus, and many other things. So extremely important to clean this. This is the tube that will come from the humidifier, and it loops over your head. So this is a nasal cannula, so you just put it over your head and use this part to plug it into your nose and tighten using this loop here. So that gets you up to 90% of oxygen into your body. Let me just switch on the machine and show you what happens when the machine is switched on. So remember, it doesn't work without power. So we're just switching it on. So you can hear a sound. That is the machine working to concentrate the oxygen. You can see bubbles. That is oxygen coming through the humidifier. So here, this has got a flow meter. The flow meter, when you adjust, it goes from 0 to 5 liters. So I'm just bringing it back down and reducing. Can you see the black ball coming down? So that is 0. As you increase the flow, you can see the bubbles increasing and the black ball coming into 1 liter per minute, then 2 liter, 3, 4 and 5. So up to 5 liters, this machine can give you 90% oxygen. I'm going to switch it off now. As you can see, different machines have got different displays. This has got an LCD display. This has got a just a simple light display. All it is showing you is that things are working normal, and if there is a problem, the settings display will come up. Here also a similar red light or a red message will come up. Now let's switch it off. We have talked about how to use an oxygen concentrator. Now I just want to tell you a few pitfalls regarding oxygen concentrators. So having an oxygen concentrator definitely helps anyone whose saturation has gone below 94%, or if you already have a problem like COPD, asthma, you're already struggling to breathe, you've got COVID on top of it, it will help you sustain for a period of time to get more oxygen and help the body. But there are a few pitfalls that you need to think about when you have a machine. One, overconfidence. If you think the machine is going to save your life and you ignore the fact that your body is getting weaker and weaker, you might be in a really irretrievable phase by the time you're taken to the hospital. So please make sure having a machine doesn't mean you can't monitor your temperature, you can't monitor your saturation. You still need to monitor your saturation, and if the saturation falls below 94%, despite having the oxygen concentrator, please contact your physician and get to a hospital. Now, 3 minutes walk test, 6 minute walk test, these things are mentioned in our other videos where we explain what to do to be safe at home. If your saturation drops by 3 points while you're doing a 3 or 6 minute walk test, or you have significant shortness of breath, or your fever or cough extends beyond 5 days, or your patient who you're looking after is becoming drowsy, confused, these are signs to tell you that the patient is not doing well and you need a medical input as soon as possible. So with that, we'll go into the other pitfalls. The next pitfall is not keeping the machine clean. So if you don't fill the water, clean the humidifier bottle once a day, clean the filters once in 7 to 10 days, you can get infection like the black fungus, white fungus and other infections. That's pitfall number 2. Pitfall number 3, if you don't have an electricity backup, you are sustaining yourself with an oxygen concentrator, electricity goes away, you are in big trouble. So make sure that there is battery or some sort of electricity backup. So the final pitfall is, if you put the machine in a place where it is sort of closed and the machine which gets heated up. So as the concentrator works, the temperature of the machine goes up, and if the temperature goes beyond a certain point, it will cut out concentrating oxygen. So you need to make sure that the machine is kept in a well ventilated area and the room is relatively cool. So please make sure it is in a well ventilated area. Other thing, like any other machines, this machine also needs a break. So after 4 to 5 hours, give it 15 minutes break. If you're going to the toilet, if you're asleep and the patient doesn't need oxygen for a short duration, 15 minutes to half an hour, please give the machine a break. That will make sure that the machine works for much longer time. So with that, I hope we have taken you through how to use these life-saving machines safely, and we hope that this helps you in keeping you and your family safe and alive. Thank you so much.